Your wife got arrested for spraying a worker in the face with chemicals. So now that worker has to go out in town to an eye doctor to make sure she's not going to be blind. She sprayed toilet cleaner in her face last night.
On the 4th of October 2024, Key West police boarded the Virgin Voyages cruise ship Valiant Lady. A passenger was accused of spraying toilet bowl cleaner into a crew member's face. This analysis focuses solely on the legal questions raised by the officer's conduct.
Good morning. I'm Officer Roscoe with the Key West Police Department. What's your first name?
Karen.
Karen, take a seat.
My name is Devin, Civil Services Director on board.
Okay.
Support. And also this is Anders, the General Manager.
So, do you know why you're here?
No.
Okay. So, apparently, before we go any further, you're not under arrest. I'm just going to ask you, you're on board. You're not free to leave right this minute. So, before I can ask you any questions or anything like that, I have to read you your rights. Okay? Like I said, you're not under arrest. You're just not free to leave. So, okay. Can't talk today. Before we ask you any questions, you have to understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer any questions without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. Do you understand each of these rights as I've explained to you?
Yes.
Okay, with these rights in mind, do you wish to speak with me?
First issue, jurisdiction. The ship is Bahamas, flagged, but it was docked in Florida waters. Under Wildenhuss's case, 120 U.S. 1, the port state may enforce its laws over crimes affecting its peace. An assault causing hospitalization clearly disturbs the public order of the coastal state. Key West police therefore held lawful authority to investigate and arrest under Florida law. Second issue, Miranda. The officer told the witness she was not under arrest, but not free to leave. Under Miranda v. Arizona, 384 U.S. 436. Warnings are required for custodial interrogation. Custody is judged objectively. Would a reasonable person feel free to terminate the encounter? See Berkemer v. McCarty, 468 U.S. 420, and JDB v. North Carolina, 564 U.S. 261. By stating she was not free to leave, the officer arguably triggered custody for Miranda purposes. Reading the full warnings before any questioning was therefore the legally correct decision. Third issue, waiver validity. A Miranda waiver must be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary. See Moran v. Burbine, 475 U.S. 412. Comprehension is essential, not a mere recitation. The witness's broken English raises a concern. Did she fully understand each enumerated right? Best practice under federal court rulings supports offering an interpreter when fluency is doubtful.
Okay.
Do you need them for anything else?
No.
Okay.
No. So, apparently there was an incident on board this about midnight, 1 o'clock this morning that you might have witnessed or been involved with.
Where in the last night in the nightclub?
Was that?
Where?
What's that?
So, in the public areas,
In the public.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Last night a crew member got sprayed in the face with a cleaning chemical.
Oh.
And we were told that you might have
Yeah, I
been a
was
witness
there, I
to
was
it.
there. But,
Can you tell me what you saw?
Yes, I was with my friends. She was a little bit drunk.
Okay.
Is that real? She was drunk. And she just do what, she was just what, getting the spray and she do choo choo to the air, but not to no one in the face.
She did. So you didn't see her
No,
spray
she
someone.
didn't do, no, like this, no.
Did she spray it in the direction,
No. She,
just straight up in the air?
yeah, and she was a little drunk, she put it back. And I say, no, and she put it back. But it wasn't like she wanted to do or hurt someone or nothing.
Was
like
there
that.
anyone there besides that got sprayed, that you saw get sprayed?
Me and Soila was there.
No. Did you see anyone get sprayed with the chemical?
No,
No, not at all.
no. The
Okay.
lady was coming, walking, but
How far away would you say she was?
maybe when he is.
And it did not touch her?
Well, I don't see that she do it like just straight to her
Okay.
head.
So the way I'll explain it to you is this
Oh,
cruise
we
ship.
didn't know that. That was-
Hang on. So the cruise ship has better cameras and everything than a casino.
Okay.
Okay. So you saying you saw her spray the chemical up in the air, but it didn't spray anyone.
Well, I didn't see that she was doing It was dark in the night. It was outside of the restroom in the second floor, right? What we talk? Yeah, she get spray on the air.
So why did she do that?
She was drunk. I don't know why. She was drunk. Like a game. Like she was getting that to.
Was there something that happened prior to that where somebody used the bottle to try to clean the bottom of their feet or something like that, or clean something off their legs?
No.
No?
I don't know. No.
Fourth issue, probable cause for warrantless arrest under Florida Statute 901.15. Officers may arrest without a warrant when probable cause exists that a felony has occurred. Crew's security footage, the injured crew member, and witness statements satisfy that standard. The probable cause analysis follows Beck v. Ohio, 379 U.S. 89, applied through state procedure. Fifth issue, charge grading. Florida Statute 784.03 defines simple battery as a misdemeanor. Florida Statute 784.045 elevates battery to a second-degree felony in two circumstances. 1. Intentional or knowing infliction of great bodily harm, permanent disability, or disfigurement. 2. Use of a deadly weapon, which Florida courts define functionally, not by category. See LRWV State 848. So, 2D 1263, treating chemical agents as potentially deadly weapons. Toilet bowl cleaner is typically an acid or sodium hypochlorite formulation with corrosive pH. When directed at the eyes, it can cause keratitis, corneal ulceration, or permanent blindness. Hospitalization for ophthalmologic assessment supports a finding of great bodily harm. The functional deadly weapon doctrine, therefore, strongly supports an aggravated battery charge. Sixth issue, mens rea. Defense will argue intoxication negated specific intent to cause harm. Under Florida Statute 775.051, voluntary intoxication is not a defense to general intent crime. Battery is a general intent offense. Aggravated battery under 784.0451 requires knowing infliction. The deadly weapon prong under 784.0451 does not require intent to cause serious injury. Intentionally spraying a chemical at a person, even while drunk, satisfies the statutory mental state.
I don't.
Who were you with? Who was with you?
There in that moment or in
Yeah.
the nightclub?
Well, in that moment, that incident.
It was me, Zoila, Anna.
Anna? Anita? Anna?
Anna.
Anna? Okay. Does she go by Anita?
Anita.
Because she's the one that sprayed the bottle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you have your driver's license or ID on you?
No.
Okay. Do you have a Florida driver's license? Okay.
I guess somebody's gonna go up and get her ID and we'll have to grab it for Roscoe. That's about it.
Is she the only one in the room?
No, someone else is there. So they're gonna go up and get it.
Well, you're saying you didn't do it, but then you say you're so drunk you don't remember.
And Anna, you still smell the booze.
Yeah, I can literally smell the alcohol.
Too much to drink, my man. My girl, whatever.
It's fine? It's fine, okay.
They know.
Okay, copy.
Enjoy the cruise, folks.
Hang on here to get
Yeah,
the ID.
if you guys want to bring some, her ID to help.
Yes, we will.
That way it goes to
Do
the
you
jail.
know the other? What do we do with the other people? They're okay to go out?
Whatever you got to do.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're done with the investigation. We're already done, and she's
No, with the other two
With the other
witnesses,
people?
the witnesses.
Johnny got all the information, I'm going to guess. So yeah, they're good to enjoy the rest of the day.
Her ID.
They just need her ID for the jail
told them
people.
they could-
After arresting the suspect, one of the officers returns to the ship to speak with the suspect's husband in order to obtain the suspect's ID card. The husband is trying to decide if he is going to stay on the ship or stay in Key West to bail his wife out of jail.
We had an escalated case which is reported to us, and as it's highly escalated, we needed to...
Highly escalated?
Yes, highly escalated. So we needed to call local authorities, and according to that we proceeded with...
Your wife got arrested for spraying a worker in the face with chemicals. So now that worker has to go out in town to an eye doctor to make sure she's not going to be blind. She sprayed toilet cleaner in her face last night after 1 o'clock in the morning. She's on her way to the jail right now. I would like to get her actual physical ID, which will help her get out of jail tomorrow. So if she has it in the room, because I don't think she had it on her.
The passport.
Does she have an ID card?
I think I got one.
Okay.
In my,
Where are you guys from?
Miami.
Miami? So she's got a Florida ID card or driver's license? Okay. It's easier for her to get through the process at the jail if we have that physical ID card. So if you could run and go grab that.
Yeah.
She'll have to see the judge in the morning, and she'll have to bond out, and she'll have to do all that. I don't know if you're staying on the ship, if you're getting off the ship. I don't know. I'm just telling you, basically, last night at like 1:30ish in the morning, I don't know if she meant to or not, she literally sprayed somebody in the face with toilet bowl cleaner. And she's having to go to an eye doctor now, so she got arrested for it.
Oh my God.
Did she talk to you about that?
No,
She didn't explain you?
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
So, on Virgin Voyages, we safety and security is prior with sailors, but also for the crew as well. This is something which impacted heavily on crew member.
Mm-hmm.
You
Crew member is in the hospital now.
There's a video. There's a video.
Crew member is in the hospital.
There's a video of the crew member doing this after getting sprayed, and your wife is...
Was it straight in the face or
Yeah.
in the nightclub?
We cannot show you the details because it's security related. Everything will be handed over to police. So.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional.
Well,
I'm sure that.
so I need to get that ID so I can get her processed in and out.
We'll be here for that.
We'll be here.
So what I'm going to do now is going to.
You're gonna have to. She's gonna get bonded out tomorrow at the jail. She's gonna have to see the judge first, and then she's gonna have to post bond, and then she'll get out. So I don't know if
stay
you.
overnight in the jail.
That's your wife. I'd stay here if I was in your shoes, because somebody's got to come get her from the jail. So if you could go grab me that ID, please, and thank you. I'll be right here.
Thank you.
7th issue, Witness Credibility. The friend's account contained material internal contradictions. She first denied any spray reached anyone, then placed the suspect within feet of the victim. She described the chemical going straight to the victim's head, undermining her initial denial. A false exculpatory statement may expose her to liability under Florida Statute 837.05. 8th issue, Interview Tactics. The officer told the witness the ship's cameras are excellent. Confronting a witness with the existence of real evidence is constitutionally permissible. Fabricating evidence is not. See State v. Kayward. 552. So, 2D, 971, prohibiting manufactured documents. The officer stayed on the lawful side of that line by referencing genuine onboard surveillance. 9th issue, the spousal interview. The officer disclosed substantive case details to the husband. Florida Statute 90.504 protects confidential marital communications, but not third-party disclosures. The privilege belongs to both spouses and may be invoked to bar testimony about private conversations. However, prior public statements by the husband to police are not protected by the privilege. His admission that the suspect did not tell him is voluntary, non-custodial, and fully admissible. 10th issue. The officer advised the husband to remain in port to bond his wife out. Practical guidance to family members is not unlawful and does not affect evidentiary integrity. It does, however, blur the investigative role and may complicate impartiality if litigation follows. 11th issue, search and seizure of the ID. Consent was given by the spouse, not the suspect. Under Georgia v. Randolph, 547 U.S. 103, a co-occupant may consent to retrieve specified items. Because the suspect was already in custody and the husband consented, the ID retrieval was lawful. Grading the officer, a solid B. Miranda compliance was excellent. Jurisdiction was properly invoked. Points lost for the absence of interpreter screening and the volunteered personal advice. Grading the witness, A, B-, cooperative but materially inconsistent and visibly intoxicated. Grading the husband, A, B+, calm, compliant, and avoided self-incriminating elaboration. Grading Virgin Voyages security, an A- for evidence preservation and prompt police contact. Points lost for permitting strong industrial chemicals in unsupervised public spaces overnight. Lessons learned. For officers, state custody status clearly and Mirandize before any substantive question. Screen for language fluency early. A defective waiver invalidates everything that follows. Use real evidence to encourage truth. Never fabricate documents or invent forensic results. For witnesses, a Miranda warning is not theater. Silence and counsel are protected for a reason. Intoxicated, contradictory statements help no one and may expose the speaker to criminal liability. For family of arrestees, cooperate on logistics, but defer substantive statements until counsel arrives. For carriers, maintain strict control of caustic chemicals and document handling procedures. Premises liability under maritime law attaches when foreseeable harm could have been prevented. This case illustrates how routine cruise misconduct can escalate into serious felony exposure. Subscribe for further legal analysis of bodycam footage and courtroom outcomes. Thank you for watching.